Okay, this is a quick tutorial for GarageBand. This is GarageBand first usage. When you open GarageBand, it should bring you to this page here that has empty project, new project. Okay, you're going to select empty project. If you are coming back to a project and you don't see it when you open GarageBand, you can go here to open an existing project, but we're not doing that today. Today we're going to empty project. I clicked on it to make sure it's highlighted, and then I select choose. It's going to open up a new window. So I'm going to stop share for a minute, and I'm going to have to reshare the new window, which is frustrating, but let's do that. So then you should see this window right here, and it's asking you, what are you recording? Well, we are going to record using the microphone. If you have direct input from a soundboard, that's also here. This green one is only if you're using a MIDI keyboard or if you're using a bunch of instruments through a MIDI patch like synthesizers, etc. So we're going to be using this one. If you are connecting an instrument like a guitar or bass that has pedals and amps and things wired through it, you're going to choose this one. And you can add a drummer automatically that'll play rhythm along behind you for things. We're going to stick with pretty simple here. Record using microphone or input. I'm going to select input 1. You do not want to hear instrument as you play and record. You're going to get all kinds of fun feedback. And then I'm going to make sure my instrument is connected with Blue Snowball. Yours may not. That's the name of my microphone. Yours may not show up right away. It may say built in, and then I'll show you where to change that. All right, so we're going to click create. Screen sharing has stopped because I changed the window, so I'm going to go back to that window. And you're going to go to this window. It will have one audio track. And here's where you can record your singing. So if you want just your voice, you don't want to have an accompaniment, then this is all you will need. All right, but I know we are going to be adding an accompaniment track. So you can go up here to track and select new track with duplicate settings, rename track, delete track. There's all kinds of things we can do here. Or even simpler, click this plus, tell it you want to add another track here, create, okay? For recording your audio, you want to make sure you highlight the track that is going to be your voice. So I'm going to say that audio 1 is going to be my singing, and we're going to make audio 2 our track. A little bit of information. Up here are your controls. This is your record. When you click record, it will begin recording. Play will just play the track. Stop obviously stops the track. This is skipping it forward and backward. You do have this little metronome here and a count in. If you do not want those things, make sure you turn them off. You have a pitchfork, a tuner, so if you need to check the tuning of an instrument, you can definitely set key signatures and time signatures as needed for this first recording. I don't know that you need to worry about any of that unless it affects the quality of your recording. All right, down here is where we're going to make sure we've selected the right input. So here's my input, and I have no input, which would be a silent track, nothing's on there. That would be if you needed a buffer of some sort, which we don't need here. And then my Blue Snowball, which is already selected. I do have a second channel of Blue Snowball, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just doing Blue Snowball 1. You can do monitoring, which means that you can hear yourself. We're going to leave that turned off. Same with all these other settings, which you can definitely play with but I'm not going to play with them for this beginning intro. So we're here, make sure we have blue snowball. Recording level, you know, I will tell you, I always put it a little ways down for maximum so nothing maxes out in the equalizing of your sound. And then I also will go to, let's see, we are going to, oh, this is for sharing it. Here's your library information. I hope you can see this. I'll double check this and cut it out if it's not helpful. So then recording your audio is pretty straightforward. We're going to hit record. You're going to make sure your microphone is between 2 and 5 fingers away. So for this microphone, I would probably be standing and put it on my music stand, or I'm just going to hold it. And I'm going to record. The water is wide, I cannot cross o'er. And when I hit record again, it stops the recording. Then you have to hit the play button to stop play the little cursor from moving forward. So then I'm going to skip it all the way back, and I can play it back. The water is wide, I cannot cross o'er. And you can hear I've intentionally maxed it out a little bit. That means I probably need to move the mic a little further away for this song, but I'm also going to make sure that I take this volume down a little bit. The water is wide, I cannot cross over. So that we don't get as much distortion. So you can do it on both sides, but my favorite way to handle it is to leave it here at the recording setting, so that matches this down here, and making sure I just check my audio before I do the whole song. If you do not like a track that you've done or a section, you can delete it by highlighting it and hitting your delete key. As always, you can go in here. If you're like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that, just undo delete. It's under the edit menu there. But I don't like this one, so I'm going to delete it in a moment. However, some other things to know. We have 2 sets of controls. The one that's most useful at the beginning stages of recording is this bottom one, where I can take it. Let's say I liked everything, maybe this is the second verse, and I liked everything until it maxed out where it's off the charts there at the bottom. So I'm going to go to here, and that gets rid of everything before that. We're just trimming the track. If I change my mind, I can bring it back, and you can record right on top of these things. Okay? So this is GarageBand 101, how to record and make sounds. You can import audio into the second track to have your accompaniment playing. Importing audio and MIDI files. Hopefully you can see the little help guide that I've pulled up. This is just under help at the top of your screen. Import audio and MIDI files. You can import audio files like an accompaniment track. It needs to be one of these formats. So this, and it can also be MIDI files, but we're not going to use MIDI right now. Easiest way to do this, from GarageBand, you want to open up Finder, get that file off your desktop or wherever it's at, so make sure you've saved it somewhere. So for example, I'm going to open my Finder. I know you cannot see it right now. Unfortunately, it's not allowing me to share everything with you. But I'm going to go into my documents. Nope, sorry. I'm going to go into all, and I'm going to search Little Bird, because that's one that I know I have. And it's going to bring up my files that have the title Little Bird. So make sure you know the title of your song. I have found Little Bird, and you're going to see me drag it from the Finder right to there. And then I'm going to close my Finder window because I don't need it anymore. And now when I hit play, little bird sits in a holly tree, little bird sits in. So you can see that the Canon has the audio file, the accompaniment, has uploaded. So how this works when we want to record over this track then, so this is part 3, is we're going to select audio 1, and I would put a headset on so that I can hear the little bird track or my accompaniment track, but it's not being recorded into the audio of my mic, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to not put a headset on, and I'm going to record this. So forgive me while I move this down a bit. And I'm going to hold this so I'm watching right here. I want it to not clip out when I sing really high. See how it clips out? I'm going to hold it back a little. So this mic is wanting to be about a hand and a half away from me. Let's try it. Little bird sits in a holly tree. Little bird sits in the holly tree. So here's what happens is I'm going to mute. So I'm literally going to click this mute button so you can't hear this. We're just going to listen to track 1. Listen, you can hear the accompaniment on this track. It's quiet. Little bird sits in the holly tree. Yeah, so what happens is we get what we call bleed through from the accompaniment track. And in final production, what happens is it gets noisy. You'll feel like it just sounds off. And it's just because we've got the accompaniment track literally battling with itself. So to give yourself more control and less hassle, make sure you're wearing a headset in one ear so you can hear that accompaniment. Microphone is up at mouth level and you're singing along, okay? And that'll eliminate that little background accompaniment shadow, that noise that's in there. When you are done recording your track and recording your audio, you want to make sure that throughout the process you go through under File and select Save. Make sure you give it a name. I would save it each time you finish a section. It's supposed to auto-save, but I've had it happen where it hasn't. So I recommend save it just to be safe. You can mess with the mixing features, the EQ features, kind of play with how it changes your sound, but you do not have to. And then you're going to go and select Share. And Share gives you several options. Share to music, share to SoundCloud, share to AirDrop, to mail, export song to disk, or project to GarageBand for iOS. I recommend export to music because it will automatically convert it to a music format for you, or you can export to mail, and that'll open up your email program and put the file in your email. I export everything to music. You can always delete it out of iCloud if you don't want to keep it there. But if you are working on building that recording list like we've talked about, then you might want to create a playlist and just start putting them in there so you have them all together, and when you're ready you can actually burn them to a physical CD or upload them to an external drive to have them recorded. All right, and that's it. That's the end of your process.